before human beings could descend to the deepest point on the planet, before science understood life under impossible pressure, there already existed a world where darkness devours everything. In the Mariana Trench, between silent abysses, extreme cold, and almost unknown creatures, life survives in ways that defy all imagination. Welcome to the Mariana Trench, almost unknown creatures at the deepest point. Please give us a like and subscribe to the channel to give us more motivation and continue creating quality content. Don't forget to comment below what you thought of the video and tell us where you are watching from so we can talk together. May God bless everyone with health, peace, and love for nature. Let's begin. Descending beyond 200 meters, we enter the mesopelagic zone, a realm of perpetual twilight where the last rays of the sun struggle to penetrate the abyss. The thermometer drops sharply until reaching 4 degrees Celsius, turning the environment into a biological refrigerator of a planetary scale that slows the pulse of life. Hydrostatic pressure increases with every centimeter of descent, exerting a massive mechanical force that would instantly crush the lungs of any terrestrial mammal. The blue light transforms into a deep and dense indigo, an artistic filter of nature that hides predators in an eternal dance of shadows and mystery. In this crystal frontier, beings with extraordinary adaptations emerge, warriors of silence designed to thrive in the extreme scarcity of resources and vital energy. Many inhabitants possess disproportionate telescopic eyes, biological precision tools created to capture the smallest glint of residual light coming from the outside world. Here begins the spectacle of bioluminescence, a chemical magic where life generates its own glow to communicate, attract partners, or deceive rivals. Small silver silhouettes like the hatchetfish, barely 10 centimeters long, use ventral photophores to camouflage their outline and become invisible to hunters looking from below. As we approach the 1,000-meter limit, the pressure reaches 100 newtons for every square centimeter, sealing the fate of those who dare to challenge the sovereignty of the abyss. The twilight zone acts as a mystical corridor toward the unknown, a biological transition where the illuminated world fades to give way to the reign of total darkness. In the abyss where eternal night reigns, a life form emerges that has stolen the fire of the gods, the sovereigns of bioluminescence. This biological phenomenon is a perfect chemical reaction between luciferin and oxygen, transforming metabolic energy into cold, pure light. In a world without sun, light becomes the universal language of survival, allowing the inhabitants of the abyss to break the veil of darkness. Predators like the anglerfish use a 5-centimeter biological lantern suspended above their head to attract their victims toward a luminous death. Other beings employ the counter-illumination technique, projecting light from their belly to eliminate their shadow and become invisible to the hunters patrolling below. Flickering signals act as beacons in the gloom, secret codes that allow individuals to locate mates in the vastness of the deep ocean. These living torches maintain the vibrant heartbeat of abyssal biodiversity, proving that even in the deepest darkness, life always finds a way to shine. In the absolute darkness at 2,000 meters deep, a nightmare figure emerges that redefines the concept of biological terror, the anglerfish of the abyssal zone. Known scientifically as Melanocetus johnsoni, this predator is the undisputed sovereign of the ambush in the deepest void of the ocean. Its most lethal weapon is the elysium, a modified dorsal spine that holds a living lamp at its end, loaded with bioluminescent bacteria. This star of cold light acts as an irresistible lure for curious prey, drawing them directly toward the threshold of a certain death. The fish possesses a disproportionate skull with a cavernous mouth, armed with long, sharp teeth that curve too inward to prevent any escape. Its stomach is a prodigy of biological elasticity, allowing it to ingest victims that double its own size and body mass in a single movement. In this realm of extreme pressure, the hunter remains motionless for hours, saving every gram of metabolic energy for the final explosion of the attack. Upon detecting the slightest vibration of a small fish, the anglerfish projects its jaw with a lightning mechanical force, closing the fate of its feast. Unlike the predators of the surface, this titan of the shadows does not rely on speed, but on the perfection of deception and infinite patience. The anglerfish remains as the guardian of the midnight zone, the luminous demon that reigns in the frozen silence of the unexplored abysses. In the abyssal depths where darkness is total, the dragonfish emerges, a predator of alien design that patrols the void at 2,000 meters deep. This sovereign of the shadows possesses a unique biological superpower, the ability to emit and see red light, a frequency invisible to almost all other inhabitants of the ocean. It uses this secret crimson lantern to illuminate its victims like a night sniper, executing its hunting mission without alerting the senses of its prey. Its jaws are equipped with massive, transparent teeth, an evolutionary adaptation that makes them invisible until the fatal moment of impact. Its elongated body is covered in an ultra-black skin that absorbs 99% of light, turning it into an undetectable ghost in the abyssal gloom. With a surprising mechanical force, the dragonfish pounces on small crustaceans and fish, closing its crystal trap with absolute mechanical precision. The dragonfish remains as the supreme master of stealth, the invisible assassin that reigns in the heart of the Black Ocean with an otherworldly biological technology. In the deepest regions of the abyss, where pressure is crushing, a nightmare silhouette known as the viperfish emerges. The Choliotus is the sovereign of biological fangs, a predator that patrols the abyssal zone down to 4,000 meters deep. Its most terrifying feature is its teeth, long as hypodermic needles, so massive they do not fit inside its mouth and reach up to its eyes. It possesses photophores on its belly that emit a rhythmic light, allowing it to camouflage its silhouette and attract its victims in total darkness. Upon detecting prey, the viperfish explodes in a lightning acceleration, reaching a surprising speed to capture silvery fish. Its jaws function like a steel trap, exerting a mechanical force of 200 newtons to ensure that no one escapes its embrace. The viperfish remains as the guardian of the deep shadows, the definitive hunter that reigns with an armor of light and jaws of steel. Descending toward 5,000 meters deep, we find a sovereign of the abyssal zone that possesses the most ferocious face in the ocean. The fangtooth fish, known scientifically as Anoplogaster cornuta, is a titan of endurance in a world of extreme pressure. Its physiognomy stands out for possessing the longest teeth in the marine kingdom in proportion to the size of its compact and robust body. Its fangs are so massive that this predator is unable to close its mouth, possessing special grooves in its skull to house the sharp tips. In this liquid desert, where food is a scarce treasure, the fangtooth fish has evolved to capture any trace of organic matter. It possesses a highly developed lateral line system to detect the vibrations of potential prey in the total darkness of the deep abyss. Despite its nightmare appearance, it is a resilient inhabitant that withstands a mechanical pressure of 500 newtons for every square centimeter. It is an active hunter that does not use lights to attract prey, relying fully on its instinctive ferocity to subdue its victims. Compared to other fish of the midnight zone, its bone structure is extraordinarily strong to ensure a lethal and definitive grip. The fangtooth fish remains as the guardian of deep sediments, the warrior who reigns in the frozen silence of underwater eternity. In the absolute void where sunlight is extinguished, ethereal silhouettes emerge, floating like electric spirits in the immensity of the abyss. Bioluminescent jellyfish are jewels of liquid crystal that transform total darkness into a canvas of cobalt blue pulsations. Their transparent bodies, 30 centimeters in diameter, contain neural networks that coordinate flashes of pure light through high-precision chemical reactions. As they glide through the water column, they emit bursts of cold light to disorient predators or create a hypnotic trap for unsuspecting krill. Species like the Atolla jellyfish use biological alarms, firing circular flashes that illuminate the attacker so it can be detected by even larger hunters. These clouds of organic light maintain the dynamic balance of the abyssal ecosystem, acting as the beating heart of the midnight zone. The jellyfish remain as the guardians of eternal silence, the spirits of blue fire that reign in the garden of shadows of the deep ocean. In the abyssal plains that stretch for thousands of meters below the surface, a creature of unreal delicacy emerges, the Dumbo octopus. Known scientifically as Grimportuthis, this cephalopod owes its name to the cephalic fins that look like large ears, allowing it to navigate the abyss with absolute grace. Unlike other octopuses, this small titan does not crawl along the bottom, but flies through the water column, flapping its fins like wings in a silent dance. Its soft, gelatinous body allows it to withstand a mechanical pressure of 400 newtons for every square centimeter, a feat of biological engineering in total darkness. With a length of barely 20 centimeters, its translucent figure glows under artificial lights, evoking the image of an inhabitant from another world exploring the blue void. It is a patient predator that suctions small snails and crustaceans from the sediments, processing minimal energy to persist at the limits of the abyssal zone. The Dumbo octopus remains as the guardian of eternal calm, the gentle ghost that reigns in the silence of the liquid deserts of planet Earth. In the deepest and most unknown corners of the abyssal zone, a spectral figure emerges that defies conventional anatomy, the long-armed squid. Known scientifically as magna pinna, this cephalopod possesses extremely thin appendages that extend like living filaments in the dark. Its tentacles can reach an astonishing length of 8 meters, hanging vertically in the water column like a web of invisible traps. These filiform structures act as ultra-sensitive biological radars, detecting the contact of any organism that crosses their radius of action. Unlike other fast hunters, this sovereign of the abyss uses absolute immobility, turning its arms into microscopic fishing lines. Upon capturing prey, the sticky filaments secure the victim with mechanical precision, extracting nutrients in a world of minimal resources. The magna pinna squid remains as the architect of the shadows, the spirit that reigns in the gloom with a patience that transcends time. In the abyssal depths, where sunlight is an ancient myth, the most legendary titan of the ocean emerges, the giant squid. Architeuthis dux is a sovereign of the shadows that can reach a colossal length of 13 meters, dominating the liquid void with an imposing presence. It possesses the largest eyes in the animal kingdom, with a diameter of 27 centimeters, designed to detect the smallest bioluminescence in total darkness. Its 8 arms and 2 feeding tentacles are armed with serrated suckers, capable of holding prey with an irresistible mechanical force. Its chitinous beak is so powerful it can fracture tissues and bones, exerting a pressure of thousands of newtons in the silence of the deep abyss. In a duel of giants, this predator fights epic battles against the sperm whale, leaving circular scars as testimony to its iron will. The giant squid remains as the guardian of underwater secrets, the real monster that reigns at the limits of the unexplored for eternity. In the confines of the eternal midnight, where sunlight dies hundreds of meters deep, an abyss of pressure and mystery unfolds. Here, in the zone of shadows, silence is not empty, but the prelude to the appearance of a titan of the depths. The sperm whale is not simply a whale. It is the most extreme diver on the planet, a battleship of flesh designed to conquer the abyss. With a massive head that houses the spermaceti organ, this giant of 50,000 kilograms is a marvel of biological engineering. In this liquid desert, survival depends on the ability to abandon the world of air to seek food in total darkness. The sperm whale challenges death in every dive, descending to more than 2,000 meters where the pressure is hundreds of newtons per square centimeter. In the realm of absolute darkness, its eyes are useless, so it uses the most powerful sonar in nature. It emits sonic clicks so loud they can stun its prey, sending waves that bounce off the immensity of the black void. Each pulse of sound is a mental image, allowing it to see the invisible and track the elusive giant squid in its own terrain. The sperm whale glides like a 20-meter shadow, moving with a stealth that belies its immense volume. The wait ends when the biological radar detects a mass of tentacles moving hundreds of meters below it. The predator positions itself, becoming a projectile of flesh that launches toward the most epic battle of the ocean. In an instant, the sperm whale charges with devastating force and closes its powerful jaws over the giant squid. The fight is fierce, with tentacles surrounding its head and suckers tearing its skin. But the power of the cetacean is unstoppable. The combat ends in total darkness when the titan subdues its prey and begins its triumphal return to the surface. The ascent is a race against time and exhaustion, where every meter gained is a victory of the spirit over biology. Upon breaking the surface, the jet of water and vapor marks the end of a hunt that few beings on Earth could imagine. The sperm whale teaches us that real power does not reside in the light, but in the capacity to master the fear of the unknown. In the blue immensity, he remains the guardian of the secrets of the abyss, the only hunter who embraces the eternal night. In the frozen and silent depths of the North Atlantic, a spectrum emerges that has navigated time itself, the Greenland shark. Known scientifically as Somniosus microcephalus, this colossus of polar waters is a living relic that has persisted since pre-industrial eras. It holds the title of the longest-lived vertebrate on planet Earth, being able to reach an astonishing age of 400 years of continuous biological existence. With a length that can reach 7 meters and a weight exceeding 1,000 kilograms, its presence in the abyss is imposing and majestic. This sovereign of the ice moves with extreme parsimony at a speed of barely 1.2 kilometers per hour, conserving every gram of energy. Its organism contains biological antifreeze compounds that allow it to thrive in temperatures that graze 1 degree Celsius without freezing. It often patrols the darkness nearly blind due to ocular parasites, relying fully on its prodigious sense of smell to locate chemical traces in the water. It is an opportunistic predator of the midnight zone that consumes everything from fish to seals and remains of great whales in absolute silence. While other sharks depend on explosive speed, this warrior of the abysses dominates through infinite patience and secular endurance. Its metabolism is the slowest recorded in the marine kingdom, an evolutionary strategy to persist for centuries in an environment of scarce resources. As a keystone species of the Arctic oceans, it acts as a biological regulator that maintains trophic balance by eliminating decaying organic matter. The Greenland shark remains as the guardian of the centuries, the ancient spirit that reigns under the eternal ice with an unshakable will. In the abyssal plains of the seafloor where sediment merges with darkness, a master of visual deception emerges, the flatfish. Known scientifically as Pleuronectiformis, this inhabitant of the abyss has defied conventional anatomy to become the definitive shadow of the bottom. Its extremely compressed and flat body is a masterpiece of hydrodynamic evolution, designed to disappear against sand and mud. The most astonishing feature of its biology is the displacement of its eyes toward one single side of its head during its juvenile development stage. This biological asymmetry grants it far-reaching binocular vision, allowing it to watch over the abyss while the rest of its mass remains hidden. It is the absolute sovereign of mimicry, capable of altering the color and pattern of its scales to imitate the texture of the ground with surgical precision. The flatfish is a strategist of infinite patience, remaining motionless for hours under a thin layer of sand under the massive pressure of the ocean. It uses its peripheral fins to partially bury itself, becoming an invisible biological trap for any prey that crosses its territory. Its senses are tuned to detect the subtlest vibrations of crustaceans and small fish at a distance of several meters in the gloom. Upon locating an objective, the predator explodes in a lightning acceleration of high energy, covering the distance in a fraction of a second. Its attack is a flash of mechanical force, where it projects its mouth forward to suction the victim with surprising power. Despite its fragile appearance, it possesses a robust bone structure capable of withstanding the weight of a water column thousands of meters high. In the struggle for survival, the flatfish proves that immobility is a weapon as lethal as the speed of the great hunters of the blue. As a keystone species, it regulates the populations of invertebrates in the sediments, maintaining the health and biological balance of the deep-sea floor. The flatfish remains as the guardian of the sands, the granite ghost that reigns in the silence of the abysses for eternity. In the abyssal plains and the deepest trenches where sunlight is a distant myth, an invisible legion dwells, guarding the seafloor. Amphipods, known scientifically as amphipoda, are the sovereigns of biological recycling and the tireless cleaners of the abyss. These small creatures possess ultra-sensitive chemoreceptors capable of detecting the chemical trail of a dead whale at a distance of several kilometers. Their physical structure is a prodigy of biological resistance, withstanding a mechanical pressure of 1,000 newtons for every square centimeter. Upon locating a source of organic matter, thousands of individuals emerge from the sediment, creating a living tide that covers the carcass completely. They act as a coordinated military unit, devouring tissues and muscles with an efficiency that defies the laws of biological time. In a matter of a few hours, this microscopic army is capable of reducing a large fish to an inert skeleton, cleaning the ocean floor. Unlike great predators, their power resides in massive numbers, guaranteeing that nothing is wasted in the liquid desert. Their ecological mission is vital for the balance of planet Earth, transforming death into the nutrients necessary for the rebirth of life. Amphipods remain as the guardians of eternal recycling, the tireless shadows that maintain the biological heartbeat in the heart of darkness. In the deepest abyss of the Mariana Trench, where silence is absolute, an inhabitant emerges that defies the laws of biological scale. The giant amphipod, known scientifically as Abyssal gigantea, is the sovereign of the sediments, reaching an astonishing length of 34 centimeters. This titan of the depths survives a mechanical pressure of 11,000 newtons for every square centimeter, a force that would pulverize conventional steel. It acts as the supreme collector of the trench, devouring any trace of organic matter that descends from the surface thousands of meters away. Its metabolism is designed for opportunity, allowing it to ingest large amounts of food in a single session to survive months in the void. It possesses high-precision chemoreceptors that detect the aroma of decomposition in total darkness, guiding it toward its feast of survival. The giant amphipod remains as the final guardian of the abyss, the resilient spirit that reigns at the deepest point of planet Earth. In the deepest cracks where the Earth's crust fractures, an infernal scenario emerges that defies all known biological logic. Hydrothermal vents, or black smokers, expel columns of water loaded with minerals at temperatures grazing 400 degrees Celsius. In this realm of absolute darkness, the sun has no sovereignty, and the energy of life does not come from light, but from the heat of the planet's heart. Here dwells the Pompeii worm, known scientifically as Alvinella pompeiana, the most resilient warrior to the extreme heat of nature. With a length of 13 centimeters, this creature defies death by living on the frontier between frozen water and jets of boiling steam. Its body is covered by a dense layer of symbiotic bacteria that act as a thermal armor and a living chemical laboratory. This ecosystem is based on chemosynthesis, transforming toxic hydrogen sulfide into the energy necessary for biological persistence. The Pompeii worm experiences an astonishing thermal gradient, keeping its head at 20 degrees Celsius while its tail withstands 80 degrees Celsius. This capacity for thermoregulation places it as the most extremophilic complex animal on planet Earth, surpassing any other marine inhabitant. It lives in tubes of chitin and minerals that it builds on the walls of the chimneys, protecting itself from the mechanical pressure of the abyss. Around it, a legion of blind crabs and translucent shrimp form a society of shadows that does not know the cycle of day and night. The strength of this system resides in the alchemy of matter, where minerals become flesh through a millenary and invisible process. As a keystone species of the deep sources, its presence indicates the volcanic heartbeat of underwater mountain ranges and the vitality of terrestrial geology. The existence of these beings suggests that life could have arisen in these forges of sulfur and fire, far from the comforting heat of the sun. The Pompeii worm remains as the guardian of the gates of magma, the resilient spirit that reigns in the garden of the underwater hell. In the darkness of the abyssal zone, the light of life burns with an intensity that does not require stars to illuminate its eternal glory. On the most hostile frontiers of existence, where physics meets chaos, the smallest warriors of the planet dwell, the extremophiles. These microorganisms thrive in temperatures exceeding 120 degrees Celsius and under a mechanical pressure capable of pulverizing the purest diamond. Their biochemistry is a masterpiece of resilience, transforming heavy metals and caustic acids into the energy necessary for eternal biological persistence. As the guardians of the origin, these indomitable cells prove that the heartbeat of life can withstand the chemical hell without sunlight. Extremophiles are the sovereigns of the impossible, the microscopic spirit that guarantees the eternity of life in the darkest corners of the abyss. Upon reaching 8,000 meters deep, we enter the realm of the Hadal zone, where the weight of the ocean becomes a force of total crushing. Here the Mariana snailfish emerges, known scientifically as Pseudoliparis suirae, the deepest inhabitant recorded in the history of biology. This small biological miracle survives a mechanical pressure of 80 million newtons per square meter, equivalent to the weight of 1,600 elephants on a human being. Despite its hostile environment, it possesses a delicate appearance with a translucent and pink skin that allows its internal organs to be seen under artificial light. It lacks scales, and its skeleton is composed largely of flexible cartilage, an evolutionary adaptation to prevent its bones from fragmenting under massive pressure. Its cells contain high concentrations of osmolytes to stabilize proteins, preventing biological machinery from collapsing in the abyssal void. Although it looks fragile, it is the apex predator of the trench, using its sense of touch to capture small amphipods that inhabit the sediments. It moves with a spectral elegance, performing undulating movements that consume minimal energy in a world where every calorie is a treasure. Its existence at the limits of the habitable is a testimony to the indomitable will of life to colonize every corner of planet Earth. The Mariana snailfish remains as the sovereign of the bottom of the world, the guardian of crystal that reigns in the deepest gloom of the ocean. Descending to 11,000 meters deep in the Challenger Deep, we enter the most extreme and hostile zone of planet Earth. At this final point of the ocean, hydrostatic pressure becomes a monstrous mechanical force that governs all matter. The infinite weight of the water column exerts a crushing pressure of more than 100 million newtons per every square meter. This destructive force is equivalent to holding the weight of dozens of wide-body commercial aircraft on a single human being. Any conventional steel submarine would be pulverized in a fraction of a second under this absolutely lethal liquid embrace. Gas-filled spaces collapse instantly, making the life of mammals and surface fish biologically impossible. However, evolution has sculpted the true titans of cellular endurance to conquer this hell of pressure. the sovereigns of the trench have eliminated air cavities in their bodies, replacing them with gelatinous tissues and incompressible fluids. At a microscopic level, their cell membranes are constructed with special unsaturated lipids that prevent crystallization under extreme force. They use protective chemical molecules to stabilize vital proteins and prevent them from deforming under the immense weight of the ocean. The skeleton of these inhabitants is flexible and cartilaginous, a masterful adaptation that absorbs the constant impact of the deep water. This biological engineering allows abyssal creatures to move with an elegance that directly challenges the physics of destruction. The Mariana Trench is not an inert cemetery, but the crucible where the resilience of life reaches its maximum expression. Every heartbeat in this dark realm is an absolute triumph of nature over the most devastating forces of the underwater universe. The abyss remains as the final guardian of biological limits, a world where silence and pressure reign for eternity. At last, we reach the Challenger Deep, the most remote and profound point of planet Earth's crust, where geography surrenders before the liquid immensity. In this sanctuary of eternal silence, darkness is an absolute physical mass that devours every particle of luminous hope coming from the surface. The water remains in a frozen state of 1 degree Celsius, where time seems to freeze in a desert of fine and millenary sediments. The void is so deep that sound becomes the relic of the past, leaving the abyss in a sepulchral and terrifying peace that challenges the human mind. At 11,000 meters deep, the mechanical pressure of 1,100 kilograms for every square centimeter prohibits the existence of almost any form of complex biology. On this limit of the world, only the most resistant microorganisms and xenophytophores inhabit the gloom, feeding on the marine snow that falls from the upper abyss. The landscape is a plain of inert mud, an extraterrestrial stage that has remained nearly unchanged for millions of years under the weight of the ocean. The biological loneliness of Challenger Deep is the definitive testimony of the final frontier of our exploration in the heart of the blue planet. This abyss is the barometer of planetary geology, where tectonic plates submerge into the mantle in an eternal cycle of renewal and fire. Challenger Deep remains as the guardian of the great secret of the abyss, the mystical place where the ocean touches the deepest core of existence. Emerging from the shadows of the Mariana Trench, we understand that human beings have only scratched the surface of an infinite and majestic abyss. Currently, more than 95% of the ocean floor remains hidden under the veil of biological secrecy and massive pressure. In the most remote cracks of the Hadal Zone, it is possible that sovereigns of evolution inhabit that have never been detected by the eye of technology. Every exploration mission toward 11,000 meters reveals new species that completely challenge our current understanding of extreme biology. We know the topography of other planets better than the abyssal plains of our own blue home in the heart of the solar system. The future of underwater science represents the next great frontier, where the secrets of the origin of life could be engraved in the mud. Safeguarding the integrity of these abysses is a vital mission to ensure that the dynamic balance of the Earth remains intact for eternity. Titans of impossible dimensions and alien forms could still patrol the thermal currents where no human being has managed to penetrate. The majesty of the unknown is the barometer of our humility before the indomitable and absolute power of wild nature. The Mariana Trench continues to be the supreme enigma, a reminder that our world still has biological wonders to reveal under the water. The guardians of the darkness wait in the frozen silence, awaiting the moment when we are ready to understand their extraordinary reality. The heartbeat of the abyss will continue vibrating in the gloom, inviting us to dream of the secrets that lie beneath the waves of the whole world forever. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss our next content. Don't forget to share your opinions with us through the comments section.